Good morning, my name's John, welcome back to the channel. I'm joined today by
Ashton from Exploring the Past to the Present. Good morning.
We're at Cudworth Railway Station near Barnsley. I'm going to have a walk up to Stairfoot. The station was opened on this site in 1840 by the Midland Railway, which became part of the Midland Railway. You see, I'm of an age where I can remember trains running through this station. I believe the lines were finally lifted in 1986. By this time it was purely and simply for coal. I believe the station closed in about 1968, something like that. It was a busy station back in the day. It had 5 platforms. As we can see, there's a surprising amount of ballast still down. Normally this either gets salvaged for use elsewhere, or it becomes so overgrown we can't walk on it. On these railway walks, we still keep finding these bits of clinker left over from the days of the steam locomotives. A little bit here, look. Fallen out of a firebox. It's round about this location when in 1885 Midland Barnsley Railway opened a platform here as their terminus. It was the closest their line ever got to Barnsley. Among the various bits lying about, we found a rotting away wooden sleeper. Still got its chair attached. I've put a picture up showing a signal box at the side of Station Lane. Now we think this is the remains of it. There's quite a bit of demolition rubble around. I think this is a location of that signal box. That's Station Lane just down there. We're now on Station Road. And this was the entrance to the station. Took straight up onto the platform. So we're round about the location now where a footbridge went across to connect the platforms. Somewhere across there. I think this stonework may have been part of the footbridge. We can clearly see here the footprint of the platform edge. It's just been bulldozed away after closure. See this line of bricks. We found this concrete building just at the station site. We're not quite sure what it was, so if anybody knows, by all means leave us a comment. We don't know if it's a World War II bunker, air raid shelter, whatever. Another structure which appears on a lot of photos is Cudworth Station signal box. Now this is the concrete base of it. Just here, that's all that's remaining. You find some cables sticking out of the floor. I'll show you them. obviously to do with signalling. And it looks like these concrete blocks would have supported signal posts. Still got the bolts in. See the pipe inside where the cables would have passed for the colour lights. Another one over here, look. There's a number of these concrete sleepers around the site, obviously been left behind because of no salvage value whatsoever. Now this stonework runs a considerable length of the site. We thought at first it may have been a wall, however it goes towards this water tower, so we're thinking now, could it be protecting a pipe from the water tower to the water gantry which would have stood on one of the platforms. This is the Cudworth water tower. At one time it would have had a cast iron tank on the top. I think its water supply was a reservoir somewhere up where those new builds are. Looking a bit sorry for itself, deteriorating pretty badly when you look. I think this plinth must have contained either some valve gear or pumping gear, whatever. And I can't see because I haven't brought my torch. There's some steel beams up there which would have supported the tank. It's difficult to believe that when you look at the line as it is now, this was at one time Midland Railway's main line between Leeds and Derby. Really busy line at one time. Little bit of cable conduit surviving there. Just see through the trees. So look at the width of this bridge. I believe those 6 lines running here at one time. It carries small bridge dyke under the track. Just see down there. This is the site of Cudworth South Junction. So what we're going to do, instead of following the Midland line which went to our left, we're going to go up to the right, which follows the line of what was known as the Chapeltown Loop. It was a shortcut from Cudworth up to Monkspring Junction near Worsborough. We'll just follow the line up there. There's a little viaduct that we go across up at Sunnybank. So we're not sure if these remains are a trackside building that's been demolished or simply rubble that's been dumped out of the way. Anyway, let's head on up towards Stairfoot. There's a few brick remains we've found here, and also this wooden post. It looks like it may have been a signal post at one time. It's certainly never been a sleeper. There's some bolts in it, look. There's a few piles of sleepers that we've seen. I think these are in stealth mode, covering themselves in moss. Quite a few of them, if you look. We think this may have been some kind of drain running down between the tracks. If anyone knows, feel free to let us know in the comments. Become a bit of a mud bath up here, unfortunately. This looks like the remains of some trackside building. See here, it's had a concrete sectional roof and brick walls by the look of things.
These.
So we're now approaching where a bridge has been removed. We took the line over this little road, just led down to a farm. You see there through the trees. We've just a bit of an incline to reach the track bed level, but we're now on a tarmac path, as we can see. We can see we're in a bit of a cutting as we approach what appears to be a farmer's access bridge. Some serious detailing got into this actually, when you look. Fail to understand why it's been built in brick when there would have been a surplus of stone to use. Suppose they've got the reasons. And that's looking from the other side. So we're then straight onto the viaduct. Now there's various names. I've always known this as Sunnybank Viaduct. It's also known as Ardsley Viaduct and also Durham Viaduct. It's on, we'll put drone up and have a look. Now it crossed over the Durham Valley. We can just see the River Durham down in the bottom there. And that's looking up towards Barnsley. We can just see the Barnsley District General Hospital on the horizon. Yeah, it's on 10 brick pillars with steel spans. I believe this line closed in something like 1986. Now I remember coming down here, obviously long before it was made into a cycleway. They were just ballast down, and these manhole covers weren't actually here, but the hole was, you could see, directly down into the river below. I'm not quite sure what the health and safety people would think about that now, to be fair. So from underneath we can see the construction, just iron lattice, all riveted. Shows the sort of age we're looking at. We also found this telegraph pole still standing there. See the wooden beams that supported the insulators slowly rotting away, and the You can just make out the steps on it. And the tension wire still connected. So just off the viaduct where we stood now, the Great Central Railway's Houghton main branch crossed under this line. I'll just show you the cutting. It came through this cutting here from Stairfoot. It went under the line we're on, Midland Line. Now what we're looking at here is infill. The track bed was considerably lower than what it is, and this infill, we'll explain that when we get a little bit further up the line. It's from a road project in the mid-90s. And we're straight into a considerably deep cutting. Again, this has all been infilled. So we can just see in the distance there the end of the viaduct, and we can see the level of infill in this cutting just about at the brow, and a footbridge went across here at one time. I remember it when I was younger, and it was quite a drop down to the railway track. So as we get over the brow, we'll have to see down the other side. We'll see down to the track bed there. We'll have another look when we get down there. So that's looking back up towards the cutting. We're now just walking towards Barnsley Railway Tunnel, just round this next bend. This line closed in 1964, probably due to the condition of the Barnsley Tunnel, which is just up there to the left. Now in 1967, British Railways, as it was by then, opened this new section of line, effectively bypassing the tunnel, allowing coal trains to run up into Worth Yard through Stairfoot Station. It's at this point where the 1967 code joined the alignment of the former Hull and Barnsley Railway. We can just see the track bed down there in the trees, and it went off towards Stairfoot in this direction. So we've come so far on the Midland Railway, and we're now on the Hull and Barnsley alignment. Like I say, the Midland Railway would have come out of Barnsley Tunnel somewhere in those trees. We've just found what appears to be a snapped off telegraph pole here, side of the track bed. And it looks like the remains of it lying down there. We'll go down and have a look. So we're having a rummage around, and it looks like we found one of the insulators there. That's what that looks like, is it? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, it's got a screw thread in. That would have screwed onto this bolt and carried the telegraph wires.
Would have gone onto here.
Yeah, it was screwed on there, supported telegraph wires. I think that was a good find, that, to be fair. Weren't expecting to find anything like that after all these years. Brilliant find that. Quite a bit of stuff in this embankment. The fish plate there, the fence post. You can still see the wire tensioners on it. So this bridge is just a farmer's access underpass, I think. What we'll do, we'll pop down and have a look underneath, See if there's anything remaining. We can see the typical Hull and Barnsley copings there. You see on many of their bridges. Pretty overgrown, but still identify it as a bridge. I think it's fair to say, looking at the construction, this would have been replaced when they put the cord in 1967. Certainly not original, all this. This is looking from the other side. The pile of coping stones here, someone's dumped. A little bit earlier on, when I was rambling away about this infill in the cutting of the tunnel, where the slip road is, where this little white Fiat's coming up now, at one time there was a huge retaining wall here. I believe it was removed in the mid-90s sometime. And the gap that we can see in the trees, just where that gentleman in the black coat is walking, all the land was level from the top of this retaining wall, and it took the Hull and Barnsley line across a bridge. You can see the remains of into Stairfoot Station there. When this slip road was constructed, the spoil excavated was used to fill the cutting that we saw earlier, and the southern end of the Ardsley Tunnel. Yeah, the line would have crossed on a bridge over the original Doncaster Road, which is where we are now. But you can just see the bridge abutment in front of us. So after crossing the bridge, the Hull and Barnsley would have joined the Great Central Line here before passing through Stairfoot Railway Station. I'll just turn you around. That's looking up towards Barnsley. And the bridge we're about to cross is reasonably new. This was only built when the Stairfoot roundabout was built, probably 1980s, I believe. What we'll do, we'll end the walk here for now at Stairfoot Railway Station. Thanks very much for watching. We'll continue this little walk up to Oldham Junction on a future video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.